There is a power you were never taught, a discipline older than empires, forged in silence and fire, passed down by warriors, emperors, and exiles. A truth so unshakable that once mastered, no insult, no betrayal, no loss, nothing can ever disturb your mind again. Imagine being untouchable, not by hiding from the world, but by mastering yourself. This is not a fantasy, it's not new, and it is not easy, but it is real. It is the path of the Stoic. Here's a truth most people will never accept. No one can make you angry. No one can bother you. Not really. Not unless you give them permission. Insults don't cause rage. Disrespect doesn't create pain. It's your reaction to these things that does. We've been lied to, taught that our emotions are out of our control, that we must lash out when we're disrespected, that we must crumble when life turns against us. But that's weakness masquerading as honesty. There's a way out, a way to become unshakable, to stop being a slave to what people say or do, to never again be angry or bothered by anything. This isn't self-help fluff. It's not positive thinking. It's Stoicism, ancient, cold, and brutally honest. Master this and you become untouchable. Let's begin. 1. The core idea. Epictetus said it plainly. It's not things that upset us, but our judgment about things. A person spits on your name. Your reaction is not to the spit, it's to the meaning you attach to it. They disrespect you. You feel insulted because you decided that their opinion matters. This is the heart of Stoicism. The core principle. The only thing fully within our control is our own mind. Our thoughts, our judgments, our actions. Everything else, fortune, opinions, insults, weather, death, outside our control. And what is outside our control is not worth our anger. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of the known world, wrote to himself, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been." Think about that. It's not some motivational poster. It's a reminder that your suffering comes from within. And if it comes from within, you can stop it. 2. The enemy, your ego. So why do we still get angry? Ego. That fragile illusion that says they need to respect me. They can't talk to me like that. I deserve better. Seneca, the wealthiest man in Rome and one of its most respected thinkers, tore this idea apart. He said, "No one can be despised by another until he has learned to despise himself." Your ego is the bridge between their insult and your reaction. Burn the bridge. You think you're defending your honor? You're just defending your insecurity. You want the world to kneel to your idea of how things should be. But here's the Stoic truth. The world doesn't owe you peace. It doesn't owe you fairness. And it certainly doesn't owe you comfort. We train ourselves to endure what we hate until we no longer hate it. That's how you kill ego. You expose it to cold reality, again and again, until it dies of starvation. 3. Training the mind. Okay, how do we do this? Let's talk about discipline, not the kind that screams at you to man up, the kind that observes, questions, interrupts the automatic reaction. You get disrespected, pause. You get cut off in traffic, pause. Your phone lights up with a message that makes your blood boil, pause. Then ask, is this within my control? If yes, act with reason. If no, release it. This is called the dichotomy of control, one of the fundamental teachings of Epictetus. He told his students, Some things are up to us, and some things are not. Our opinions are up to us. Our impulses, desires, aversions, these are up to us. But our reputation, our body, our property, these are not. We moderns scoff at this. We think everything must be optimized, fixed, owned. But control is a trap when it extends beyond the mind. The Stoic trains daily, like a warrior of the psyche, reflects in the morning, journals at night, rehearses insults, practices loss, imagines disaster, not to wallow in misery, but to prepare for it. That way, when the day hits you, and it will, you don't break. You've already died in your mind. You've already lost everything, and yet you remain. 4. Death, indifference, and freedom. Let's go deeper. You want to never be bothered again? Then remember this. You're going to die. Not in some abstract poetic sense. Literally, you're dying right now. Every insult you hold on to, every pointless grudge, every shallow emotional spike, it's eating your time. Time you'll never get back. Time that should be spent on virtue, not vengeance. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. This isn't morbidity. It's freedom. It's clarity. If death is the end, then everything else, opinions, slights, losses, they shrink. They become indifferent. And that's the Stoic concept of apatheia. Not apathy as in laziness, but a state of being untroubled by things that don't matter. A calm power, a sharp clarity, where emotion is no longer the master. Think of it like this. If a storm is coming and you cannot stop it, what use is yelling at the sky? Instead, you build shelter, or you become the kind of person who can walk through storms untouched. 5. Living it. So what does this look like in real life? You don't raise your voice, not because you're weak, but because you're too strong to be provoked. You don't retaliate, not because you're a pushover, but because you see no value in escalation. You don't stew in resentment, not because you've forgotten, but because you've chosen peace over poison. You walk through the chaos with composure. You let others be loud, petty, arrogant. You don't need to play their game. You're playing a different one, mastery of self. Here's the thing. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about training them. About knowing when to feel and when to let go. You will feel anger, you will feel pain, but you will never again be controlled by them, because you've seen through the lie. The lie that says you must respond, that you must break, that you must shout. No, you remain, like a mountain in a storm. The wind howls, the rain lashes, but the mountain does not move. That's the Stoic life. That's what we train for, and that's why, when mastered, nothing and no one can bother you again. Not because they change, but because you do. So now you know. The next time someone pushes your buttons, ask yourself, who put them there? The next time you feel the fire of rage, step back and ask, is this useful? Is this worthy of me? Because the moment you realize your emotions are your own, you take the power back. And once you do that, you are free. Be hard to provoke, be impossible to disturb. Not cold, just clear. Not numb, just disciplined. Not above others, just above the chaos. Master this, and anger will never own you again.